Hello and welcome back to the studio. My name is Clive from Clive's Art, as you already know, and I paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. And I've got a 15 by 12 canvas in front of me. So without further ado, let's have a look at the palette. You can see the colours there. I'm going to use a couple of different brushes today. But before I do that, I just want to, if you see any smoke wafting by, it's my incense sticks. Yes, I will talk a little bit more about that, why I've got that burning in a second. But you just hear the paint, so let's paint. So I got one of my little brushes there. These brushes are available on the website. Pop along, www.clive5art.co.uk. I've got my media mix and all the other stuff there. I'm not going to talk a lot about that today, so I'm going to get my media mix. And I thought I'd use one of my brushes today, and this is one of the background brushes, but I use for the Bob Ross style of painting. And I will say Bob Ross style of painting because it's not exactly the same as Mr. Ross did. But I'm picking up some raw sienna, just pulling a bit of that across there like that. I'm going to bring in a little bit of my burnt umber just to warm that up. And I'm going to put a bit of that on like this. Because I put that moisture on that canvas, you can see it's going to spread lovely across like this, and I want that warmth to come in. I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre into this colour, into this side. I'm spreading that across, bringing that in. I love these brush strokes this brush makes, because it really adds to the canvas. I'm going to bring a bit of white into this side, a little bit of white, titanium white now into this side, just to lighten that up. Now I'm using an image that I found on Shutterstock, and you can go and download these images from there directly, but you can just use the image that I've got showing you on the screen. If you want to just pause the video and maybe you can take a screenshot of that. But okay, so I'm going to darken down this area now with a bit of burnt umber. There we are. Just get a multitude of colours there. Getting a bit of white on my brush, developing a slope here like that, a bit more white. Get a little bit of red because I want to warm this up. A bit of that raw sienna in there. A nice pinky type of glow. Put some more colour over that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to put that brush down. I'm going to pick up a blending brush. Again, you can pop along and buy these on the website. And I'm just going to soften down all that now with my little blending brush to bring all that nicely together. There we go. Let's put a little bit more yellowy ochre there like that. Umber there. There we are. Let's bring a bit of colour. In fact, let's get a little bit of this burnt umber and bring some warmth here. There we go, that's lovely. And again, get this blending brush. This is what this blending brush is for, is to smooth all this down and to get that lovely effect there like this. This is a pony hair brush, it is. We're going to be doing a little bit more work to this, but for now, let's just get this to blend together. I want to get a little bit more burnt umber on this brush. And this is 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch brush. It is a 1.5 inch. That's a big brush for a small canvas, but it shows that you can be done. But as again, if it's just for blocking out, it's fine. It's fine. I want to get some more brown there, like this. Again, putting that brush down. I'm going to blend that in. Now, the paint is starting to get a little tacky, but we don't mind that because we're going to dry this off anyway now. So we've got that sky there, that's lovely. I'm going to put that blending brush straight into some water. I'm going to wash that out and I'm going to dry it with a hairdryer to make sure it's actually 100% dry, because you can't use a wet blender. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this off. Okay, so I had a bit of a problem there, so I lost one of my cameras. Yeah, my camera decided to die on me. So, but now you can see the close-up. So I hope that didn't spoil your fun too much, and I do apologise. But you can see exactly what I've done there now. So hopefully we can recover that. I'm just going to put this brush into some water. As I said, I was going to use a couple of different brushes today. I've got some. I've been asked a question, what's the difference between a short handle and a long handle? There we go, there's a short handle and there's a long handle. The difference is, the further you can sit away from the canvas. So I don't get my big head in the shot. So I'm going to try and use one of these today. I'm going to get some white and I'm going to get some yellow ochre. And that's just going to mix a little bit of yellow ochre, a bit of raw sienna into that. Raw sienna is very transparent, so be careful. And I want to bring up a slope like this. There you go. And then bring up another slope there, like that, and bring that down towards you like that. Let's just get that in. Using the paint just a little bit thicker now to try and get that angle right. There we go. And I'm going to bring a bit more white in because it's quite light. If you look at the diagram, the reference photo, it's quite a light colour there. So we need to get that in there like that, mixing a bit of colour that I got on my brush. Taking the excess off my brush. Just concentrating on that line there like that. There we go. That comes there.
Please just subscribe and join in with the fun at clive5art.
Let's concentrate. Let's put another slope coming in there. And that's going to get a bit more red as we come in there. Let's get a bit of raw sienna, a little bit of red to it. Let's get a bit of red in there. A bit of burnt umber. There we are, that's better. Let's get these. It doesn't have to be as accurate. You don't have to follow your reference 100%. I've said this before. A little bit of black, a little bit of burnt umber. Get some shadow down here, like that. Let's mix that in. The reason I got my incense stick going is because if you paint with me on a regular basis, you know that my dear mum passed away last September, that was September 2016, if you're watching this on a rerun. And art has played a big part in my life. I'm just going to change my brush to a smaller filbert. Art has played a big part in my life because several years ago I had a stroke heart attack. I did have a heart attack last year, actually, a suspected heart attack, which was scary enough. But several years ago I had a mini stroke, and I've been asked a lot. Even my friend Jason Bowen said to me, you know, why did you start YouTube up? And it was basically because of an art class that I'd started to after my stroke, just to get some just to get back out there. Really, it was just to get back out there. Really, you know, to get back in the land of the living, as they say in Wales, and the painting away that stress then that comes with all the stuff that comes with it. Really, your life changes, your diet changes, your lifestyle changes, your world changes, your things you can do change, and that's what is hard sometimes to come to terms with, is that your whole life has changed and you can't do the same things you used to do. And I have suffered really badly this year with 2017 since Mum passed because of depression. Believe it or not, you might see me on the video and you might think, oh, Clive looks happy and jolly. And well, I'm happy and jolly in the knowledge that I'm helping other people. And I'm just picking up another little blending brush because I got a couple of these because I get them free because they might. And I just want to soften that edge down. There we go. Just soften that edge into there. So, burnt umber, black, and I want to bring this dark shadow down. Then I'm going to put all that in now. Lovely colour, lovely. So I have suffered a little bit with anxiety, depression over the last 12 months since losing my mother, and so I love to paint, and I find painting is really relaxing, and it's calming, it's good for the soul, it's healing. So if anybody is into all this meditation and healing, then use this as part of that. That's what I would say. Because it does help you. Because all you're doing when you're doing something like this, all you're doing is thinking about what you're doing, and it's just soothing and calming, and that's why I love painting. I love painting because of what it is, and I enjoy it, but I find it really healing as well. Just dragging that through now. Now this paint here is very sticky, so it's, rather than try and get paint lift, I'm trying to use the paint drying now to my advantage, where I'm just dragging the brush with a little bit of paint on there, and I've got a little bit of dry brushing technique going on, and that's what you've got to think about as well. So let's just get some more shadow into this sand. That's still wet because it's on quite thick, so we're trying to get develop these little shapes that you can see on the sand dunes. It doesn't have to be accurate, just get a representation of what you can see. So this is not about copying an image, it's you're using an image as a reference. So even though we've got something similar, it's not the same. It's not the same as copying something 100%, like I did with the Thomas Gainsborough painting. That's not what you're trying to achieve here. You're trying to get that effect. Okay. So I'm just going to dampen my brush just a touch. Just got a little bit of moisture on. And I'm just going to smooth down this edge. Just blend that paint in around there, that edge like that. Let's get a little bit more of this lighter colour. And let's just try and get this edge to form now. Maybe just a little bit more light. We're not going to put a lot of highlight on this at this stage. I want to dry this a little bit more now, and then we can add our highlights a touch more. But for now I'm just trying to develop this shape that I can see on our reference. There, like that. Just going to concentrate a little bit and get this nice sharp edge there. Okay. What I'm going to do now is this is a very large filbert brush, again long handled as you can see. So I want to get some raw sienna and I want to warm that up. I want to warm that up and I want to try and put some of this in. I'm just going to use the brush. I'm going to leave the brush strokes in this. I want to get a bit of that warmth. It's like a sand just blowing. Let's get a little bit of burnt umber to it. We'll have to put some more paint on the canvas now. We'll see. Leave those swirly marks in that paint, because that's going to add to what we want to try and accomplish. A bit more burnt umber, because this is picking up shadow. Very, very lightly. Just keep maintaining that edge if you can. Get these swirl marks, making it look as if there's a swirly sandstorm. There we go. This is not cloud, this is just sand blowing. You're going to get the shape of the swirly marks there. Now, I have this question, no ends at times. How do you stick your board to your canvas? Well, quite simply, all I use is blue tack. There we go. And this is the sticky stuff that you can buy and you can put stuff on walls with. It's called blue tack in the UK. Don't know what it's called in America and around the world, but it's called blue tack in the UK. Do a Google search for that. The reason I do that to my board or my canvas is because of filming. I don't want this flopping around everywhere. I've got a board there which I leave on there sometimes, and if I'm doing a certain size canvas, I can take it off, and so it's mainly just used for filming purposes. But if you want to use that method, then feel free to do that to yours as well. And I don't recommend having your easel leaning away from you. Try and get it as vertical as you possibly can, because you can get more of a feel of the painting as well when it's flat. I'm getting a bit of this white colour now. I'm just going to bring in a bit of this white and yellow ochre colour coming in. It's a bit of swirl. And maybe a little bit of let's put some yellow ochre and let's just get a little bit of red to it. Let's see if we can make like an orangey colour, because I can see a lot of orange in that painting, that reference photo that we're using. So let's see if we can get a little bit of this colour in as well. Just it's like when we say painting clouds and stuff, just make shapes. Don't think about a cloud. It's I know it sounds stupid when you're painting a cloud or a shape like this, but if you think of just shapes, then you'll find that it works a lot better, because all you're doing is concentrating on a cloud. We've got preconceptions of what clouds are. We've got preconceptions of what a sandstorm is. But if you just sit back and just let yourself relax, breathe in your incense stick, chill out, just take a deep breath, don't try so hard, and then just make little comforting patterns like this on your painting. And this is what the art of art is. This is the art of painting, is being able to relax into it. Let your brushstrokes become that sandstorm or that cloud or that body of water that you were painting. And that's all it is. It's just relax. A little bit of technique, yes. Oh, we've got to have technique, because things won't work without technique. But all we're trying to do here is get that sandstorm effect coming along. There we go. Maybe a little bit brighter up the top edge here. There we go. Like as if it's just maybe catching just a little bit of light. From the sun, wherever the sun is. Who knows where the sun is? I don't know where the sun is. This is, in fact, I'm looking at the reference photo. The light must be coming this way, towards us on an angle, because there's a shadow on the little chap that's walking on the sand dune. So there you go. I'm just gonna go through a lot of this kitchen paper. You know, I just wipe my brush. I'm not cleaning my brush, I'm just painting wet in wet, really. Sit back, breathe in that incense. If this is your thing, if you want to relax, then relax this way. And just make up a little bit of a painting. Make it up. Let's get a little bit of sand down here. Let's just get a little bit of sand. Down there like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry that very quickly with a hairdryer. Hope my cameras are all videoing this. What I'm going to do now is, if I can find a small detailing brush, which I have got, this is a number 1 detailing brush. I'm just going to go in, I'm getting a little bit of black for this. And I'm going to put our little man in. So we got, let's think of our little man, and let's put his head in, because there's a little circle there. And looking at my reference photo, his arm is coming down a little bit like that, and then you've got his body's coming down like that. So think of it like just think of it like a wide carrot. There we go. There we are. It looks like a body of a beetle. Or get these images in your mind and just think of these shapes. There we go. This is where you've got to think about shapes, in fact. There we go. And just he's got another leg coming out that way, is it? Because he's walking. There you go. Doesn't have to be accurate. Little arm then coming down there. The arm there. There we go. Right. Wash the brush. Just get a little bit of water. Very thinly pick up some black. And let's just put this little shadow of this chap. Stretching out like that. Right, so a bit of white. Let's get a little bit of white. Add a little bit of yellow to it. Let's put a little bit of a mark like that. Just make sure I'm not in shot. Am I in shot? Let's put his little hat on or something he got there, and he's got a little line there like that. Let's get some red, because I can see a little bit of red on him. Just add a little bit of colour into our explorer who's walking along that Sahara Desert. Could be the Sahara, couldn't it? This could be the Sahara Desert, why not? Blending our shadow in just a touch like that. There we are. Well, I don't think we need to do much more than that. I think that's fine. There we go. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and please paint away the stress of everyday life with me here in Wales on a regular basis. I upload every Monday, so thank you very much.
So grab your brush, have a great time, and don't forget to click subscribe.